Excellent. You're
Okay.
rocking and rolling.
All right, it's 12 noon. Welcome to Mastermind Mondays for the New England region. Today we're really excited. Both Kelly and Nora, our co-education chairs, have invited Marki Lemons. I'm so excited to hear. Lisa, you did such a great job with the Ladies in Leadership RRC, and I learned that she has taught over 300,000 students. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to share with us today. And Nora, Kelly?
Well, we are so excited to have Marki here today. And Kelly, you have the bio for Marki. And Marki, with your permission, we're going to go ahead and let Kelly read the bio. And again, very excited to have you here. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
So Marki, like when we were talking about, Corona World educators, we wanted to bring the best of the best to our New England members. And you yourself know, you bring so much energy and so much power to the table when you're on stage. Teaching through the computer, not everyone can do that, but you are getting rave reviews across the country. We are thrilled to have you here in New England. And just to let our members know a little bit more about Marki Lemons-Ryhal, she is a CRS. She is a licensed managing broker, realtor, avid volunteer, my love, major donor, and is dedicated to all things real estate. With over 25 years of marketing experience, Marki has taught over 300,000 realtors how to earn up to 2,682% return on their marketing dollars. As a realtor, she has earned several sales awards, the Realtor Achievement Award and the President's Award from the Chicago Association of Realtors. 5-time NAR Realtor Conference and Expo featured attendee. She has been one of 80 speakers selected to speak at the Realtor Conference and Expo 3 times, and she's an Inman Closing keynote speaker. By consistently offering sound industry analysis and professional guidance, her expertise has been featured in Forbes, The Washington Post, Homes.com, and Realtor Magazine. Ryhal holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Management from Chicago State University, a Master's in Business Administration from St. Xavier University, and over 50 real estate related licenses, certifications, and designations. Marki Lemons, welcome to New England.
Thank you for having me with you this morning. I'm pretty elated. It's a sunny day here on the south side of Chicago. And if it wasn't for this wonderful tool called Zoom, we would not have the opportunity to be together consistently. I'm really looking forward to our CRS class that will be coming up in the month of December, where we're going to talk about 7 things. It'll probably be more like 70 things that successful agents do a little bit differently. And when I start thinking about my top producing agents, I hate to say this, but we've seen more growth from our female agents than we have from our male agents. So I'm going to need some of my men to step it up just a little bit. But during the coronavirus or during the pandemic, I have a couple of young ladies that come to mind. And when we start thinking about the things that we're going to talk about that you do differently, they have something in common. The first thing is they have a business plan. The second thing is their business plan includes a marketing plan. And the third thing, their marketing plan includes social media and technology. And here would be some numbers. Nicole Wheatley, her first year in real estate was 2019. She actually came in here part-time because she is a contractor with the city of Chicago. Last year, she closed out $142,000 in gross closed income. Her sales have increased 62.5% year over year. Another young lady, this is her first full-time year in real estate 2020. Don't know if I would want it to be my first year. Cassandra Sneed, she told her story on Facebook. She was crying. She brought me to tears as well. She was a 17-year-old unwedded mother on public assistance. And the reason that she was on Facebook pouring her heart out is because in the month of September, it was her first $1 million month in real estate. So I could think back to potentially, well, I couldn't, but you can imagine being 17 with a child to feed, receiving public assistance, and you get to that month where you close $1 million in production. She probably made more in the month of September than she would have ever made 2 years on public assistance. So the true power of real estate, and both of those young ladies, they have a solid business plan. They both have a marketing plan. They both leverage social media and technology. And on any given day, I am not their favorite person because I consistently tell them no and what not to do, because I am not an advocate for us doing more. I want us to be laser beam focused on a core group of people to be niched, because I personally, not once, but 2 times in life, have seen the impact of owning your niche. So we're going to talk about all of that. Because I want every last agent who signs up for our class to take all of the experience they have, right? And to be that Nicole Wheatley or to be that Cassandra Sneed. And we're talking about people who don't even know they didn't know, right? They're just going off the fact that I said, hey, you got to have a business plan. And no, you should not drive from one end of the city to the other end of the city because you're going to spend 4 hours per day in your car. That means you're not selling real estate. And that they trusted me a little bit, but they fought for what they believed in, and they had to witness it and experience it firsthand themselves. And both of them are just so powerful because they took the time. They put that time in their business. And if you think about December, it's a great time to start really not just creating a business plan, but implementing that plan. What do you want your 2021 to look like? And we could all go back to the fact that 2020 didn't look anything like our plan had said it would look like. However, real estate is actually a career of choice now. So we have more people coming into real estate, unlike any other time. Even if we went back to the 2006 era, right? A lot of people are still coming into real estate because real estate sales are going great. Interest rates are still at a historic all-time low. So we need to sit down now to plan for a successful 2021, because housing, I don't care what state you're in, right? It's still essential. We've had to have our government affairs directors fight in 2 states to make us essential, but people still need housing. People still need housing. So if you haven't had a chance, I do want you to register for the class. I teach from the concept of seek first to understand. I don't believe there are any dumb questions. I have 250 agents here in the city of Chicago, between 2 offices. And so consistently working with them, working through these strategies to see what works, what doesn't work, what we don't think has been as effective, but we could see potential in it, are some of the things that I would love to share and will be sharing with you and your members.
What happened to her? That's what she does.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody muted me. It's okay. It's all right. That I would love to share. Do you guys have any questions, direct questions for me? I'm not seeing any in that chat bar.
Question for you, Marki.
Yes, Kelly.
So for an agent that's been in the business for 28 years, why should they come take your class this year?
Well, one, because I'm teaching new, okay? And this is no offense. I've been in the business 21 years, and oftentimes it's very easy for us to go back and talk about, well, we've sold $1 billion worth of real estate, but that doesn't mean that those old strategies are still garnishing you the return on investment that you desire today. So one, I'm not looking at 2001, right? I'm not looking at these older dates. I'm looking at what is going to be effective today. I practice what I preach, and I believe that we all need an update. All right. I don't rest on what was successful. I was the queen of foreclosures. So I was successful in selling foreclosures and short sales. Probably wouldn't be as successful today, even though I did predict that we would see an increase in notice of defaults actually September of this year. But when you got money, right, sliding up in your mailbox and you're able to negotiate forbearances and things of that nature, I believe that that will come in 2021. And so any realtor who is a seasoned profession, professional who's had great success, but they failed to implement social media and technology. They're not listening to the consumer's needs in real time. They have any worries about the next generation coming in and taking their market share because they're seeing it. I would say they need to attend the class, because one of my favorite quotes is, technology will never replace a realtor, but a realtor with technology will replace a realtor without technology. I was not born or raised with technology. I just turned 50. I forced myself to use these tools based on what I wanted in the future. I tell everybody I will financially be eligible for retirement on September the 25th, 2033. And that is because I married well, but my husband is not rich. I married a locomotive engineer, which means the day he retires, I will get a spousal funded pension plan from Union Pacific Railroad. So that means I will be financially eligible for retirement. But when I think about the social media and technology I use and I don't use, it's all with the end in mind. Who do I need right now to start building relationships with in order to have a successful retirement, whether I decide to leave or stay, right? And people ask me all the time, well, should we use TikTok? Well, do you need that age bracket in order to be successful? And if you don't, then there's so many other tools we can implement. So anyone who doesn't have a solid business plan, doesn't have a solid marketing plan, has been avoiding social media and technology like it's the plague, I would definitely say, regardless to their tenure in this wonderful industry, they need to sign up. We need to see them in class, because I know that Lisa and I, we are both committed. And as I get to know some of you, to being lifelong learners, because we know this stuff changes every single day.
Right. So Marki, are you going to run this more like a workshop so that, we've got 2 days from 1 to 5 each day. So are you going to run it like a workshop where they're going to finish having their business plan, their marketing plan at least started for 2021? Is that your plan?
My plan is definitely we want to engage an audience and we want you to take action, and we will add a call to action for people to take. The beautiful thing is the ease of sharing. So we know if you've implemented or not when we ask you to comment in the chat or go over to social media and make this post or share with us these numbers. So my goal is that people will take the action in order to have a solid plan of action consisting of the 7 things they should do differently, or better yet, just tweak, right, for 2021 in order to have the level of success that they desire. So
Okay.
most definitely, Kelly.
So I consider you a very successful realtor. And Cheryl G. Girolamo, our president, has a great question. What's your typical day look like, Marki? When's it start? What are you doing? When's it end?
Well, my typical day probably doesn't look like everyone's day, because I have the great ability to say no. And so I start with the end in mind, and I am very protective of my time. I definitely start with the morning routine. The Miracle Morning actually helped me set and establish that routine. But there are 2 books that I think changed my mindset. The first one would be The One Thing. Be like a postage stamp, stick to one thing until you get there. And then is it Eat the Frog? I think it's Eat the Frog. And in both of those books, it empowered me to tell people no. But here's why. In 2012, my money was funny, my energy was zapped, and I did not have enough time to date my husband. That's when I read The One Thing. And I realized that I was doing too many things, which is also why I was exhausted and not experiencing the level of success I thought I should have based on my level of exhaustion. And when I read that book, I said, Marki, you have to make some changes. And I started to reflect back in life. When did I make the most amount of money and have the highest level of happiness? And what it came down to was when I was doing the fewest things. And so I decided to start taking a lot of things off of my plate because I wanted to put myself in a position to have the highest level of happiness with the highest earnings. And so my routine is I am focused on my business plan, I know what does not fit. I don't let people sell me on how I fit into their solution, right? It is, yeah, that doesn't fit my long-term strategic plan. I don't think we'll be a good fit. And so the more I say no, the more happiness that I have. But I live by my calendar. My husband and my children, they will text me or email me and they will say, Mom, can you check your schedule to see if we can do ABC? I have 2 sons. I'm not the parent who would come back home in the middle of the day to pick up their belongings to bring it to them. All you have to do is let your child leave something at home one time, and they will remember to pack their stuff moving forward. So my 2 sons always would leave out of the house with whatever they needed for that day, because their mom was telling them, I'm not the last minute go-to person, even though I'm self-employed. And it boils down to one thing. I hate to feel overwhelmed. And to me, that creates a feeling of overwhelm. So I live by my schedule. I'm on the board of directors for the Chicago Association of Realtors. I serve on a few NAR committees. I have my own scholarship, the Marki Lemons-Ryhal Education Advancement Scholarship. But everything that I do is in real estate. It focuses on education. And if I'm not helping someone to increase their earnings, right, to earn the most amount of money per hour, having the fewest headaches possible, then we're not going to do it. I am sitting in this chair ever since Friday, March the 13th. I record 3 to 5 programs per day, whether it's for one of the councils, NAR, state associations, banks, and title companies. So everything that I was doing offline, I'm doing online. I'm elated for Zoom. It allowed me to pivot my business, because before Friday, March the 13th, I would have spent 100 nights this year on the road. I'm actually working harder now because I don't have the help of my part-time nanny. And I realize how hard this is, right? Oh, and then we have the journals, the Be Remarkable notebooks that help to fund the Marki Lemons-Ryhal Education Advancement Scholarship. And Lisa's going to make me tell you all this other story. When we had the racial unrest, I'm born and raised here in the city of Chicago, have spent 50 years here. My family owns Chicago's second oldest Black restaurant. We've been in business since 1954. We sell more pork rib tips than anybody else in the entire city of Chicago. So we've been quite successful. When I decided to venture out to see what my realtor friends were doing in the cleanup, board up efforts, it it broke me down to my core. And so I did a Facebook Live video to help raise money for the 77, which is the diversity committee of the Chicago Association of Realtors. The video has been viewed across all the different platforms about 50,000 times. And what I will say, it has garnished at least $1 for every person who has viewed it. So I successfully raised $50,000 with a Facebook Live video for the diversity committee. And as a result, I decided I should have a scholarship. And as a result, I decided to create a notebook collection to help fund the scholarship. And so I've been very busy, guys, since Friday, March the 13th. But it's all about real estate. And some of it wasn't a part of my plan. But what I didn't want to do, or what I didn't want to get sucked in, and allow the negativity to take over. So my number one goal right now is to emerge from the pandemic better than what I came in. And that's how all of these real estate creations keep coming about, because essentially I'm staying busy so that I won't get sucked in, right, to nonsense, because it's so easy to do right now.
Marki, if I can just say one thing, I was one of those 50,000 people that I have the chills even now. And I would implore people, what we'll do is figure out a way to link that post if you're okay with sharing it. It was so powerful and moving for me. I'm one of those people that did that link for the Chicago Association of Realtors. And this isn't anything for, I'm just saying that's how powerful it was. So thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Authentic, I think, is a little bit overused word these days, but I mean, talk about authentic and real. It's amazing.
Yeah, it broke me down. But last week we had our installation and they asked if they could use some of the video clip in the video for the installation. And when they took the words and did some overlay, I mean, it was a great video for our local association. And I said, now I'm supposed to be on screen and smile. And I said, and I could feel the emotions come over me yet again. As a result, it was just the devastation. And when you're born and raised in a city and your family has been here for generations, and my family I come from a volunteering family. And I'm like, they've undone the work of my grandparents, things that they fought to have built. They destroyed it in a matter of a day. So not only was I devastated, I was mad because I just couldn't believe how quick people could destroy something of value that serves their community. So when I say financially eligible, I don't think I'm ever going to retire. But I want to know in my mind that I have enough money to retire if I desire. And then my work in real estate will be 100% about passion. 100, because I don't need to sell a house, right? I got that check is going to hit my account every single month. And here's the joy of being married to a locomotive engineer. All you have to do is be the first wife and married for 10 years. So I'm already vested. I get to really hang out with a man that I like, so it's like, oh, this is really good.
Oh my God. Marki, I'm going to hook up with you to improve my dating life. Nora, you and I were talking about Marki earlier today, and we were talking about, she's like the social media guru of real estate. So Marki, we would love to know what would be, if you only had one social media channel to use, which one brings you the greatest return on your revenue?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook and Facebook Live video content. I know that a lot of people have a fear of live streaming video, but at the moment you realize that people do not care about how you look or sound, all they want you to do is solve their buying and selling problems, then I think that we get over that fear. But my first Facebook Live video changed everything for me. My hair wasn't done. I didn't have on makeup. I didn't have on this cute new dress. And those were all the rules I had in place to do a video, right? Before I did that Facebook Live video. And I had never in the past had any video content that was as engaging as that first Facebook Live video. So I have been hooked for the past 4 years on live streaming content based on the engagement, but also leaving my husband and my children 100 times per year. I joke about it, but I'm dead serious. I need all the women in Chicago to know that when they see Steven, that's my husband. We can't have no excuses like you didn't know he belonged to Marki. Facebook Live video, me posting about my husband consistently, people stop him all the time. And what they say to him is, hey, you're Marki's husband. I see you on Facebook all the time. And my husband says, but I don't even have a Facebook account. My husband believes Facebook is the work of the devil, and he does not have a Facebook account. So it shows me the pure power that these women and men know that Steven belongs to Marki because I consistently post him while generating leads on a platform because I got over the fear of creating video content.
That's pretty awesome. Lisa's got a question over here for you as well. Lisa wanted to know, would you guide us in the planning for time allocation to develop the business plan?
Yes. And it's just going to require saying some no's, and thinking about what's your number one priority. And let me say this, I know, especially when it comes to CRS, you're the smartest of the smartest people. You're dynamic. You can do multiple things well. And oftentimes we believe that because we're good at it, we're supposed to do it. And I have a lot of hobbies, right? I crochet, I scrapbook. Every day I'm coming up with, I call it a distraction, right, to what I'm supposed to be doing. And so we have to not only tell other people no, we have to tell ourselves no, because we have these other things to do. And honestly, it just gets to the fact I do not being overwhelmed. And so I've noticed the more I say no, not only to other people, but to myself, keeping what that long-term strategic goal is in mind, it just leads to more success. And some of the hobbies I'm never going to get to. It's just not enough time in the day. It's not going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And I had a question that I had in the post earlier. What's your favorite tool of late? You know, your latest tool that you like for real estate?
My latest tool that I like for real estate. So let me say this. I think it might be an app called InShot, and here's why. InShot allows you to take horizontal videos and put them in a vertical frame. And even though I'm not necessarily a TikTok creator, right? I do understand the value of vertical video today. And so the ability to take all of those older horizontal videos we've created and then putting them into a vertical frame, essentially for repurposing. So anything that allows us to repurpose content or to automate content is always going to be one of my favorite type of tools because we're able to essentially take ourselves and expand our audience. I never intend that anyone will leave their preferred platform, but I can take my content and then leverage it on those platforms, provided it meets my target audience. And so I'm not everywhere because I know that my audience isn't everywhere. I know that 70% of my audience is female. I know that on Facebook, that audience is 45 to 54. So I'm always thinking women who look like me. We have something in common. So last week, which a lot of people don't do, I tell people you have to find a part of yourself that you are willing to share openly, whether it's your love of cooking, whether it's the cat, the dog, the grandchildren, gardening, you have to find that one thing. Well, I'm pretty much an open book. So last week, because I've been getting so many text messages, but the women won't post it, when I showed up for my mammogram and my annual pap test, I posted it to encourage other women. Why are we talking about this behind the scenes when for our entire lives, we know that this is something we're supposed to do, right? So you have to be willing to share something about yourself and your routine when it comes to these different tools. And I think that I'm probably viewed as an oversharer, which is okay by me. What you cannot do is go buy and sell a house and act like you didn't know I existed and you did not know what I do. Right? Only thing you can tell me is I didn't want to use you. And because you never hear me telling other people's business or signifying about people, what I've come to the conclusion, people who don't do business with me, they don't want me to know their business. And I'm okay with that. But you can't say you didn't know what I do. You can't say you didn't know how to get in touch with me. And I've proven that I'm a thought leader in my space. I'm just not the person you want to do business with. And then you understand what your relationship is with the person. But if you're not posting consistently, you can't get mad at your friend who don't know what you do for a living.
Right.
You can't get mad at them because secret agents don't get found.
Marki, you are awesome. We are coming into 12/28. The one thing we guarantee our members every week is that we're going to end right at 12:30. We are super excited to have you. Thank you for sharing your energy and your personality. And we hope everybody does sign up for 7 things successful agents do differently with Marki Lemons here in the New England region. We will be posting that link. So NAR annual starts today, and I hope everyone is super excited because I know that we're going to see Marki on that schedule. And if you didn't get your t-shirt, it's in the mail. So I'm super excited, Marki, because I'm also on the meetings and conference committee, and they asked us to host the hall talks. So I hope everybody joins me this Thursday and next Thursday. It will be at 5:30 Central Time for whatever's in your cup. It's going to be called Thirsty Thursday, and we're looking forward to networking with you. So Marki, I saw you on the schedule. We're super excited as well to hear you and be a part of your energy here in the New England region. Cheryl?
I want to wrap it up and say thank you both to our education chairs, Kelly, awesome, Nora, awesome, and Marki for you taking the time with us all. We truly pleasure any minute we get with you.
Yes, we're glad you said yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you're having me. Thank you.
And vote. Vote, vote,
Have a
vote.
great week. Don't forget to vote.
Oh, do
vote,
not
vote.
forget to vote.
And remember to give your family the best of you, not the rest of you. I think we heard today too. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
see you next
Thank
Monday.
you.
you,
Have a great
everyone.
day.
You guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.